What's going on, YouTube? Back at it with another video. Look, this is gonna be it's a little long video, but bro, I had to watch it. It said entering America's only, I don't know if this word polygamist or polygamist, that's how you say it, polygamist? Okay, yeah, polygamist town. A whole town though. You know what I'm saying? You know how people got in poly relationships, they got 2 girlfriends and a husband, or 3 girlfriends and a husband, or it'd be 1 girl and she got 3 boyfriends. Okay, cool, but a whole fucking town, that just be a household, and usually they don't got kids yet. But when they do have kids, you know, they take care of them how they take care of them. But a whole town, it ain't no way you not having sex with your cousin, sister, brother. There's no way. The whole town came from 1 sack of nuts. Right? Other than like moms and shit that was already there, but man. But yeah, before we get into this video, man, I need y'all to like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and we're gonna start this thing. Let's say a quick prayer, and we're gonna get into it. Bow your heads for me. Dear Lord, I want to come to you today just to pray for all my friends, followers, family, and me, just anybody that needs this prayer. That I ask that you bring nothing but positive energy in their life, positive vibes, good people around them, and you reveal any snake or anybody that's trying to go against their will or their lifestyle. Anybody that's in their life that's a snake, I ask that you reveal that to them so they can, you know, separate the good from the bad. I ask that you continue to motivate us and you put us all in a position to better ourselves. In your name I pray. Amen. Ashe. Already. Like, comment, subscribe, turn them post notifications on. Let's get into the video.
Realize, young ladies, the best thing is to leave your life in the hands of God through his prophet.
America's scariest cult is in a small town.
Hold on, let me find out that the cult leader was the preacher too. Cause that sound like some American shit, don't it? Get a whole bunch of people in the community, and the person that run the community is the preacher, and he's gonna false teach your ass some shit. That's what it sound like. They went and bought some land in the middle of the fucking mountains where people can't even see they funky ass. Only 1 road down the whole city.
In Arizona, where child trafficking, arranged marriage, and having multiple wives is the norm.
You know, because I ended up
Child
with
trafficking?
35 siblings.
This town is ruled by the FLDS, or the Fundamentalist Church of Latter-day Saints, the most extreme branch of Mormonism. Its members idolize a man named Rulan Jeffs, a religious leader on the FBI's most wanted list, who is now serving a life sentence in prison for sex crimes against children. I want to learn more about the dark side of polygamy in America, so I'm driving to the FLDS headquarters right now to talk to survivors and expose the truth.
The fact that you have to talk to survivors is crazy. Like, nigga, you survived your family. You survived your town. And not on no shit like, man, I'm black, I'm getting hauled back. Nah, these is white people. Getting sold and touched on. This is some weird, freaky, nasty shit, bro.
I'm kicking off this story in my hometown of Phoenix, Arizona, where I'm driving 6 hours north to a little place called Colorado City, which is right on the border.
This is in Phoenix? I got hella cousins out there. I'm talking about hella. If you ever in Phoenix and you see somebody look like me, that's my cousin, and I'm gonna be real. Damn, that town bigger than what the fuck I thought. This ain't Phoenix. Phoenix on the other side of the mountain.
Border with Utah. I'm gonna be meeting up with a guy named Sam who left the community, but is kind enough to meet me there and take me around the bizarre community that he grew up in.
Oh. He's coming from Phoenix.
After 6 long hours, I have finally made it in Colorado City. Man, Arizona's a big state. Woo! First impressions are
that's all in
bland.
Arizona?
Not a whole lot going on out here. I'm meeting Sam up at the park, the only park in the community. There he is. What's up, man?
No, man,
Great to meet you. How you doing?
Great, great. Welcome to Colorado City.
Thanks, dude. All right, so Sam, this is like a park. This is just a park.
This is the park. This is Cottonwood Park. So this is where, back in those days when I was a kid, all of the big events were held. It wasn't the same as when Warren took over.
Right.
When Warren took over, everything came collapsing down.
What year was that?
So he took over in about 2002.
They live in a good neighborhood.
When Warren took over,
You already know what I'm finna say. That right there. That motherfucker just sitting there lonely. That's a good ball. Ain't no rips, no cuts, no nothing. Boy, if you in the hood with that nigga, we taking him. I took one earlier. As soon as I moved to the apartments, I seen one just laying out there. I looked at it. I left it alone. Came back an hour later. I left it alone. I said, fuck it. I'm going to give it 2 days. I waited 2 days. I went fishing. I seen it. Man, fuck the fish, nigga. I had to grab the ball. Now it was sitting there on my porch. Now, if they find it and come pick it up, they can do that. But, man, I'm just so used to, like, it's just a random ball. You got to grab that motherfucker, right? You got to, bro.
So he took over in about 2002.
So when he took over, that was like a huge thing.
Oh, it was. Well, because his father, Rulan Jeffs, was the prophet before him. And Rulan Jeffs was very well respected in town.
What do you mean by prophet? Like Jesus prophet?
Well, not quite, although some people would say that they are just as important as Jesus. But yes, so they were the prophet, meaning the leader of all of the people. They claim to be talking for God. And I mean, I remember Warren Jeffs standing at the pulpit preaching to us, and he would sit there and pause for a minute and kind of bow his head. And my parents, especially my mother, would tell me that he was receiving revelation in that moment.
Really?
That God was saying, this is what you need to say to your people, and then he would say it to us. So he was claiming to speak for God directly.
It gives me the goosebumps because of just thinking about the power. It's almost like totally engulf a community, and they are.
And to think about, like, when somebody got power, they can really tell you anything, and you're going to listen to it. You're going to, like when somebody get clout, bro, like if I wanted to confuse y'all minds in the fact that y'all love watching my videos, y'all love fucking with me, if I wanted to be evil with this shit, I could switch all of this around and say some shit and have y'all really believe in it. And just because y'all support me, y'all gonna run with it. Like, hell yeah, man, Michael Jackson ain't dead. Like, you gonna run with, man, TrvN seen him at a party. Like, y'all gonna run with that shit. I could be lying like a motherfucker. That's crazy what clout can do, though. Like, could traumatize a whole city, nigga. God damn.
The Lord to a community.
100%.
Right?
Yes. Warren Jeffs was, as a king, a ruler, a god, people would obey everything he said to do, including law enforcement.
Including
that were local here.
The FLDS church owned this city.
He could do whatever he want.
The UEP stands for the United Effort Plan, and that was put together by the FLDS church as a trust.
I'm not going to no town. If the town is built off a group of people and they a certain group and they got authority, I'm never coming to visit. Because y'all going to look at me and be like, I don't like how you look, or I don't like how you do this. And then y'all, and the cops is on your side 100% because they scared of you and they support everything you do. Like, yeah, this whole town, this building, everything on this whole side of the city was built off the UEP, the UAP. Huh? No, fuck all that, man. What's the UAP? There's this group of white men that... Oh, hell no. No, I ain't supporting shit unless it's AACP. If it's like that, then, you know, I might move over there. Nah, I still ain't moving over there. If it's a group, I ain't moving.
That owned all of this property.
Got it.
And of course, guess who was the leader of that trust? Warren Jeffs was in charge, right?
See?
He owned everything.
Then he got a king or something.
As a person, literally owned it. He was the owner, the landlord, everything.
Yep.
The boss.
He made all of the people. They're very industrious here. A lot of people have or had big companies like construction companies, and he made all of them sign those companies over to the trust so that he could even own that.
Damn.
So did anyone feel like they were being scammed, or they just went with it?
No one felt like they were being scammed, including myself, until you left. Once you left and looked back, then you realize, oh, what the heck was going on there?
It's so weird. This
all
is
getting tricked, and they didn't even know.
Like, we're from the same state, but this is like a world away, man.
Right.
You give this lesson today, young people. We have to teach you how to think and how to live in a pure way.
So this
Bro went to a different, strong extent, and he got successful at it. Like, other than just, oh, I'm gonna control my household, I'm gonna raise my kids how I want to raise them, raise my family how I want to raise them. This nigga raised the city, and then hid it in the mountains, and then like he knew what he was doing. Like, he hid the city, got in good with law enforcement, with the law, and to where he could get away with stuff. And then, you know, once you get to a certain level, they like fucking with kids and shit. That's why child predators and shit, they don't get that strong sentence when they get caught, because a lot of them motherfuckers be with the law enforcement and they be even higher than law enforcement. Them motherfuckers love kids, and just in case they get caught, they want to be able to get out. You know, bitch ass niggas. But yeah, man, that shit crazy, bro. Controlled the whole town, and he owned everything, bro. All of that. In your business, he owned it. So if you wanted to be an entrepreneur, that ain't possible.
People, we have to teach you how to think and how to live in a pure way.
So this is it. This is the famous meeting house, which you can see is being torn down and redone. It's kind of cool. It's a bittersweet thing because this meeting house is so iconic to me and to this community because of all of the memories here.
Yeah.
I mean, meeting was a big part of being a member of the FLDS church.
They all in
every
that bitch
Sunday
relate.
and every Saturday we would hold meetings here. Now, the cool thing is the community is turning this into a community rec center. That's why you see some of the demolition happening.
That's good.
You see these back doors?
That's good, and you can't even blame them for like having the meetings and enjoying it and enjoying the memories that they had from the fucked up time, but they didn't know it was fucked up because they was all born and raised here. Born and raised. So they think this is how life is. And then they go like, you know, let's go get permission and see if we can go to Arizona. If we can go to Phoenix. They get permission. They go to Phoenix, have fun, come back, get older and go visit Phoenix again because they had friends out there. And now it's like, hold on. This motherfucker got us in a prison. Like, what you mean you don't have to ask for nothing to drink at the gas station? You just get it with your money? You don't gotta ask to spend it? Like, god damn. Yeah. So all this shit that they had out here that they like, bro, that was good, man. We had fun as kids and this and that, but it really was behind some evil shit. They still gotta have those memories and say they love it. You know, that's crazy. But it's good they turning this into like a YMCA or some shit instead of just a straight, you know, some weird shit.
These back doors were the back doors that leaders of the church would escape law enforcement. So like Rulan Jeffs, like I said, was on the FBI's most wanted list.
Escape? What?
And I remember very specifically one day we were in a meeting and it was during the closing prayer, and all of a sudden we heard just a loud commotion from the doors right over here, which we'll see in just a minute.
And the preacher probably looking up like, oh shit, the law's here, nigga, we need to go. Nigga, we doing what we go. We gotta get up out of here. Man, that's the damn devil. So that was their church. They say meeting area, but this is a big church or something. The goddamn devil. The city council.
We had bodyguards, FLDS bodyguards, not allowing FBI or law enforcement to come in. By the time we looked up to see what was going on, all of the leaders of the church were gone off the stand. They were gone. And they disappeared out these back doors here.
That are now ripped up, yeah.
Yep, and jumped on their vehicles and went down into the creek that runs through town and escaped law enforcement. They had a plan.
Fascinating, man.
Yeah.
As a preacher, why you gotta escape the law?
You see propped open?
Yeah.
Where the law enforcement tried to get in. Hey, check this out. Those look like bullet holes to you?
Yeah. Are they?
If I had to guess.
All right, we can't go inside, but we can get a look from here. There it is. It's cool that you have these mountains that are just surrounding the town. They're not in the distance. It's like I could walk there.
Yep. Well, it's funny you say that in front of this mountain here, because that mountain there is the very mountain that we were not allowed to hike.
Oh, as a kid?
As a kid, and no one was allowed to hike it because we were told. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Book of Mormon.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it, yeah.
Okay, so Book of Mormon is a scripture along with the Bible, and in the Book of Mormon, they talk about these robbers, these evil men that would go and steal and kill, and they were called the Gadianton robbers. We were told that mountain right there still possesses their spirits, and then if we hiked it, we would either be captured or killed. Maybe there was something hiding in that mountain. From
It's crazy what your parents will tell you as a kid, and you believe it till you get older, and then you be like, you just had that one random day, like, remember it was supposed to be. Like, bro, that shit. I remember my dad told us, like, it was like on the back road, on the back highway, it was these fields and stuff, and it was going the back highway. But the back highway, you know, that's the highway you take to get away from the laws. But to keep us out of the back highway, he would tell us, like, it was a horseman that he seen out there when he was a kid, and he comes out at night and shit. Nigga, I'm a whole fucking teenager, like, nigga, I ain't going the back highway there. Nigga, they got horse body with man heads out there, nigga, and they taking people, they taking kids, and they running off into the field, and ain't nobody finding them kids. For real, I'm not going back there. Yeah, I got older and was like, man, that dumbass shit, and I'll be on that back road like a motherfucker. Like, why would I even think that was true?
Leaders, and so that's why. But anyway, after I had left the church at age 18, I came back a couple years later and hiked the mountain just to prove a point, and here I am.
Did you find anything?
Well, I mean, I guess, would you know if you're possessed by a spirit? Maybe. I'm just kidding.
This video is about to turn really sour.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
No, I know. Is it weird to be walking around this town right now?
Well, I was just gonna say that, and especially right here. I mean, we walk on this parking lot. This used to be packed full of cars. I mean, every single Sunday, you couldn't find a spot, so you'd have to park down the street and then walk into these doors right here. And these doors that now just look like, yeah, this is just some abandoned weird building. When we were going to church here, we were told that if we could see the evil angels waiting for us outside these doors after hearing the word of God and the prophets speak, we would never dare walk out those doors because they were there trying to tempt us and convince us to do bad things. So that's a way to convince us to try harder, to pray more, to be more obedient and those kinds of things.
Dude. All right, so where are we heading now?
So now I figure we will head to the home that was being built for Rulan Jeffs and his many wives, but he never.
This nigga had full control, bro. I know he felt good every time it was church and he seen everybody just believing the shit. He probably like, I got this shit in a motherfucking chokehold. Yeah. Then he seen them laws and was like, shit, Jesus' name. He ain't got the hell up out of there and got away a lot. For him to have a whole childhood and now he's an adult, that's a long time to get away with some shit like that. A whole city behind this, not like this man in the wood, out there on a farm with 6 wives. Not like no shit like that, but a city. The police was defending him against the law outside of the city. Like, you come here, we gonna have a shootout. Like, what? The police grew up out here too? You ain't got no fucking chance. I bet you there wasn't no black people there.
Actually stayed there because it was completed after he was in prison. Now, why would they continue building it even though he was put in prison? Because the FLDS people believed for many years and still believe to this day. After Warren was put in prison, they were told and we were told that he was going to break free, that God was going to break down the prison walls and he would come back.
They in there praying.
He ain't getting out of that prison.
No, he is not. But they believe to this day that he is.
And they believe like 1,000 people, 1,000,000 people, 5,000 people. Who's they?
So, well, that's a great question. When I was out here, there were between 10 to 15,000 at one point. At this point, people that strongly believe in Rulan Jeffs as the prophet and would still do anything he tells them to do is about 2,500.
And they're in Texas, right?
No, they're all over the place.
Okay. But Warren doesn't have communication anymore with these people.
Well, he does, unfortunately.
Really?
He definitely
He's been
do.
writing what he calls...
That's one thing. When you go to prison, you don't just lose communication. Definitely if it's like nowadays going to prison. This ain't like going to prison in the 80s and 90s. Nah. They got everything they got out here, they got in prison, bro. I'm telling you. I mean, everything. Down to fucking puppies. Nigga, motherfuckers be having dogs and shit in there. Every video game you got, they got. Every drug you got, they got. Nigga, this shit crazy.
Revelations
iPhones,
in prison
laptops.
Since the moment he was put in there. And during the time of COVID, he would call and preach to his followers for hours on the phone. And they would sit there and listen to him.
This is not a test. This is a revelation from the Lord God of heaven.
They let him do that, but the reason they put him in prison is because of his wrongdoings. So why would they let him keep doing it?
So that is the question.
From what I heard, you guys didn't celebrate Christmas?
Oh, no. No, Christmas was a big, bad holiday in our minds. It was something that was very worldly, created by the world. We were told it isn't even when Jesus Christ was born, so it's not even anything about Jesus. People.
I mean, kind of true though. I mean, nigga he ain't lie right there. Like, honestly, I feel like the world really celebrate Christmas not because it's Jesus' birthday. Don't nobody even think about that. That ain't even Jesus' birthday. I think motherfuckers just want some gifts and you feel happy. Hey, oh, it's Christmas, feel happy, good spirits, this is and that. But it's a lot of evil that come behind Christmas. It's a lot of evil that on why it was made. But, you know, to each his own why you celebrate it. I celebrate it because, nigga, it just feel good. Like, I like to buy gifts for my family. That's why I celebrate it. I don't give a fuck about the spiritual side of it. I fucks with Jesus. And Jesus loves me. And Jesus loves you too. I'm just saying. That's why I like Jesus. I'm gonna be real. I really do. I love him. But all the extra that come behind it, nah.
And money and get things.
What did you celebrate?
We celebrated, and this was during the time of Rulan Jeffs. Warren Jeffs put an end to all fun. Even the word fun, Warren Jeffs took it out of our vocabulary and said we cannot say that.
Y'all can't have fun?
He said that if we are enjoying something, we can say enjoyable, but not fun. He said that fun is for the world. We should be working and doing things for God only, not out there having fun.
Dude, that is Kim Jong-un style, man.
Yeah.
So you didn't, what holidays did you celebrate?
So we celebrated the 4th of July, the 24th of July is when Utah became a state. And then we had a harvest festival.
So you guys were patriotic to your nation?
We were, yes. Well,
kind of.
Once again, that was taken away once Warren Jeffs came into power. He took away all of that. But when I was a young boy, we did celebrate those holidays. But Warren Jeffs, when he became prophet, he shut this whole library down. He didn't want anyone, once again, kind of North Korea style.
He don't want nobody to learn that there's more outside. He want full control. He wants you to be the dumbass, basically. The only thing you can learn is what I teach you. You can't be great, though. Once I see you being great, you start thinking you want to be somebody, you're going to hell. That's exactly what he'll put on you. And you be like, all your life you've been getting scared by Jesus and fear. And, I'm going to hell. I'm going to go to hell. No, you're not. You're not going to go to hell. You're going to go to hell if you sell your soul. Yeah. If you're an atheist, you might. I still feel like if you're an atheist, you got a chance. I'm gonna be real. Jesus, as long as you accept him and you accept that word, he gonna let you come on. But you sell that soul, it's up, nigga. You gone, brother. I don't know if you gonna make it back.
Reading outside stuff. The only thing we were supposed to read and listen to was music from the church and sermons from Warren Jeffs.
So you never heard of Britney Spears or Eminem or famous singers growing up?
I would hear about them from other people and whatnot, but I wasn't supposed to listen to them. The funny thing, though, is listening to country and Taylor Swift and Hillary Duff and that kind of thing was so wicked during the time I was here. So this is it.
That's
crazy. This is it. We're already here. It's a hotel?
It's a hotel now. It's called the Most Wanted Hotel, named after the Most Wanted Warren Jeffs.
All right, so we are now walking inside. Whoa, look at this courtyard, bro.
Don't step in there. No, I'm just kidding. This is important here. Look at this. Check this out. Okay.
It's echoing. Whoa.
Yeah. Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah.
So look how thick these walls are.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody in a dump truck is even going to be able to plow through that.
These are 2.5 feet thick.
That's crazy. Solid.
So it kind of looks like Warren Jeffs was building a prison. But what he was doing, he was building it like a prison in the sense that the security would be as though it was a prison. The big metal gates would open, he would pull in here, the gates would close behind him, other gates right there would open, he would get in there, and then those would close. So very secure, and that's where Warren would be staying. Over here would be for other family, like wives and things.
So
that nigga built a prison compound, and what do you need that many gates? Like somebody finna come in and kill you, but you the preacher and everybody love you. Who are you hiding from? And I ain't gonna lie, as a black man, I could hop that little shit. I'm gonna be real, I could get over that in like 2-3 seconds, for real. Ha ha ha, run up that bitch. Get over that bitch. Oh, flip over that bitch. What the fuck you talking about? This shit ain't that high. Let me see how high it was. Oh yeah, his head like right here. You get a running start, you can get up over that. And that's the tall part. You can get right here, grab that, pull yourself up, jump over. Unless you get shot by the end. But if it has to do with escaping, I could escape.
That's where Warren would be staying.
All of his wives under one roof?
Well, if they would fit. Honestly, I'm not sure they would because 80 is a lot. And that's the thing too, is though he had about 80 wives, The town, I was living here during that time. I had no idea that he had that many. It was all kept secret.
You thought he had 4?
Well, I knew he had more than that, but I was guessing 20s.
Okay, so this, first of all, I'm hearing
20
echoes
is
all
crazy.
over. This is creepy.
Let's go see if we can peek in there without
Sure.
getting kicked out.
Yeah, sure, we'll try. Is this a hotel room?
No, well, I don't know what it is now, honestly.
It's weird, man.
It looks like it's someone's house, but
This is so weird.
see, even after Warren would get through the second gate,
Yeah.
then he would pull into his garage and the garage would close. So, I mean, the security, and then of course I imagine he would bring some of his wives to this home.
Those are his wives. Them look like children.
Security, and then of course I imagine he would bring some of his.
Those are his wives? Why they all look fucking related? The hell? Or is them his kids? Look at that shit. That motherfucker look like that motherfucker that look like that motherfucker that don't look like this motherfucker, but she look like this motherfucker that look like this motherfucker. She look like that motherfucker that look like that motherfucker that look like that motherfucker that look like this motherfucker. They all look like this motherfucker. And then bring a new little motherfucker in there. That's a lot of motherfucking lookalikes. This some weird freak nasty shit. She look like she play off Home Alone. Don't she look like she play off Home Alone? What the fuck?
Wives to this home. That was the plan. He never lived here because it was completed after he was in prison.
So weird.
But just to give you an idea of security.
Yeah. I don't know what I feel like right now. I feel like I'm in North Africa. These like weird fences around buildings that are white.
Well, and something that you'll notice as we drive around town is there are some walls around properties, but not as many as there used to be.
Got it.
A lot of the walls have been taken down now. It's a nice house. It's weird. It works perfectly for a hotel because of all the long hallways and the many rooms.
Like, if I didn't know anything about Colorado City and I needed a place to crash, this is nice.
Yeah, and honestly, it's a good place to crash.
Yeah, it's a good. No, the fuck it ain't. You ain't finna convince me to come live there or stay for a little bit. Oh, it's actually a nice place to come. Nah, bullshit. You grew up there. I don't want. I'm gonna fly over that motherfucker. That is a tourist town, and they're not touring it because like, oh damn, this used to be where Prince is from or something. No, fuck no. Like nigga, this that nigga that had all them wives in control. Man, there's some weird motherfuckers out there, boy. Let's go see them. Nigga, they law might keep you out there. Nigga, sundown town. Like this is like another version of that, but like not as just racist. It's more just like on some evil poly shit. And the fact he doing all this, it ain't no way he thought God is gonna be like, I accept you. No, I don't think. I don't know. It's some crazy shit.
Nowadays.
You play too fucking much. You know I'm scared.
Nobody comes here because of what the building is.
No, I think that people come out here for like group service projects and things like that. I think you'll see churches, Christian churches and different churches come out with youth to help with different things. Yeah, this would have been a living room. So stages actually were pretty common in big homes as like a place for people to perform. For some reason, it was common in the FLDS for families to get up and do performances like singing or
not sexual
instrument.
Well, yeah, they would be doing that because like they can't watch fucking TV. And if you do watch TV, Katy Perry pop up, nigga, the whole TV got shut off with the devil. We all going to hell in here. Like, man, hell no. So yeah, they had to entertain each other. Had to put a fucking stage in the middle of your living room. Tell your son to come do the Harlem Shake real quick, nigga. There's guests over. Like, what? I don't want to do the Harlem Shake, Mom. I did that for your last company that came over. Well, we don't have TV. You're the only one talented in the family. Do that backflip shit you said you were gonna do.
You know, like all these hallways. This is very common in big polygamist homes to have big long hallways with just rooms all the way down to fit people.
Do you get like weird feeling being here?
I do.
I do. The walls would speak to you.
Yeah, I mean, for an outsider or someone else, I can see.
I gotta be honest. I was driving here and there was like no accommodations. This is like a nice hotel.
Right. Yeah.
I would stay here.
So this here is Hilldale, is what we call it. In fact, there's
this is Utah?
Well, yeah, we're in Utah now.
Oh, I didn't even know we're in Utah.
Yeah, we're in Utah now. there used to be a huge gate right here, so now we can drive in, so I'm just gonna do that and see what happens. But
see what
it used to be
happens.
the clinic where all of the women would come and give birth to their children.
Really?
This building right
And they
here.
probably had a lot of births, so they were pumping
yes.
them out.
Yep. So
were you born here?
I was.
Really?
I was born right here. In fact, these new fancy doors right here where it says.
Imagine being like the doctor, like, I delivered you, and 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 you, like, you done delivered the whole fucking city in this one area. And y'all had to, because if you didn't, you was going to hell. At least that's what the preacher said. Damn.
Says Focus Eye Center. Those weren't there when I was born. We would walk into the doors over here, the smaller doors, and that would take us into a waiting room, bring the baby out. We'd all pass the baby around and hold the baby, you know, because I ended up with 35 siblings. So there's a lot of that. A lot older than me too, of course.
How many of them are in the community still?
Believing in Rulan Jeffs, about half. About half.
Do you still speak to them?
The ones that believe in Rulan Jeffs, I'm not allowed to have any kind of communication.
They won't talk to you.
Right. Because if someone chooses to leave the community, you're not welcome back, and so you'll lose your family basically.
Right.
Lose your family? What happened?
You're not.
They won't talk to you.
Right. Because if someone chooses to leave the community, you're not welcome back, and so you'll lose your family basically.
Right.
Oh, damn.
Do you miss the 17 siblings that don't talk to you anymore?
Oh yes. Well, I mean, honestly, I haven't seen them for so long. The little ones are going to be all grown up. Like, I don't even know what they would look like.
What
honestly.
if they still live here and you bumped into one on the street? Would it be like a weird moment?
If I recognized them, I would go on as if everything was normal and pretend that nothing had come between us and see how they would accept me. Because I'm from this.
That's fucking crazy. When you in a poly and you leave, you get kicked out of your whole family. And so your cousins, your brothers and sisters look at you and see you and be like, I don't want to go to hell. I'm not even going to look at them. But deep down, they really want to have fun with you and be like, oh, brother, he got 17 siblings that he don't know. Well, he knows them, but like he ain't seen in years. Like, his younger siblings, he wouldn't even know what they look like if he just seen them walking down the street. 17, bro. Bro, my dad had 9 kids, eight or 9 kids, bro. It's so fucking fun growing up with that many siblings. It don't matter where they at. I could see somebody, and I'm gonna know exactly who, if that was one of my siblings. If I see them out, I'm gonna be like, oh shit, that my... I could be in fucking Canada and see one of my brothers in a crowd, and I could be like, oh damn, that's my brother right there. 17 and you don't know nothing. And not because you wanted to, just because you wanted to leave and start a actual life. You got kicked out of your family and you can't come back. That don't sound like it had nothing to do with Jesus. That's where I would question first, like, we can't come back. I would have started questioning right there, but I wouldn't have questioned out loud. I would have questioned in my head. I would have been like him and moved, because like question out loud probably get you killed.
Place, I know that they would probably try to just turn the other way and not want to have that relationship, but that's not them, that is the teachings of the church. Yeah, so here we go. This is down the hill that leads to my childhood home.
So all these houses were members of the FLDS church when you grew up?
Oh yes. If not current, there were some what we called apostates out here, and those are people that had left the church that still lived here, but we look down on those people.
This is it?
This is it.
Right.
We look down on those people. He sound like he got a little racist in him too still. There's people that left the church, but you know us, we look down on those people. That's crazy. Just because the motherfucker don't want to go to your church no more, they don't like your beliefs, you look down on them. I don't care if somebody don't believe in God, bro. I'm going to still look at that person like, oh, you a human, though. At the end of the day, I mean, you probably not going where I'm going. You probably not, but I ain't going to look down at you. I ain't going to be like, oh, hell no, that nigga works for the devil. What the fuck? Oh, you still a human? Just keep that devil shit outside my house. That's what we going to do.
Let's do it, man. I love how everything here is like a 2-minute drive.
Exactly, it's very close.
They
so
pour
this
milk
here,
all on the sign.
just want to point out, it looks very different than it did when I was living here, because there was a huge fence that we put in, a big stone fence that we spent a lot of time building.
But you didn't live here with 35 siblings, did you?
Well, there were probably about 20 of us in this house.
Damn!
So there was a lot.
A massive house by any means.
No, it's not. There's a...
Hold on. So the preacher not getting all of y'all. It's just poly in every household is poly? Or is it like every household got a mom with 17 kids, but they all got pregnant from the preacher dude? Because there's some incest going on. Because there's no way you live in a town where everything's 2 minutes away. Nigga, you got 17 kids, 10 kids, 5 kids in each household, and none of them not liking each other. And then some of them got the same baby daddy. Some of them, like, this whole block is all from one man type shit. Man, that's some weird, nasty shit, man.
There were multiple siblings living in each room. Look at these notices on the door. I wonder what that says on it.
Looking for Sam, the polygamist.
Oh.
What?
Do I dare?
What?
I haven't walked on this step since I was 18 years old.
Really?
Yep, this will be the first time. So I guess this is the big moment.
Said,
big moment for mankind.
Oh man, that must feel weird.
One small step for man.
Wow, man.
Okay, so current water restrictions. Okay, just water restriction stuff. I was hoping for like an eviction notice.
Oh no, it's totally like being renovated.
I wonder if he going. It's crazy to come back to your hometown and you got 17 siblings and nobody's there. Your mom ain't there. Your daddy ain't there. Who is this nigga daddy? The preacher? Like, where is all 17 and you ain't ran into one in that small ass town?
Look inside. I mean, it's...
Oh yeah, it's completely being torn apart. Wow, it's weird. The window you're looking in right now was our big meeting room where we would hold our family meetings and Sunday schools and things like that. But there used to be a sign that said Zion above the door.
What does Zion mean?
Zion, if someone had Zion on their fence or on their door, it was an outward statement that I believe in and follow Rulan Jeffs.
Oh, that's what that means.
But
damn.
Is it ironic that Zion National Park is right there?
Well, people believe that in this place called Zion that will be a perfect harmony, perfect place, only righteous people living, and where God himself can dwell and visit. And that was the idea, that they were yearning or becoming Zion. This is my...
Got my nose burn me up. Hold on. But yeah, I think this is kind of like one of them towns, like, you remember like 5-6 years ago on TikTok, all them spiritual people was like, we should make a community, go off in the woods, buy a big land and just start a community out there and go off our own rules. I feel like it would have turned into some shit like this. It's like, y'all would have went off your own rules, people would have been playing, but all it takes is that one sour seed to fuck up the whole garden. It'll take that one. And then now he doing this. Now everybody, he done had sex with this person. You done had sex. Now it's all commotion. It wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have worked out. It wouldn't have been all happy Gilmore. Oh yeah, lovely. No, it's all lovely till you gave chlamydia to what's her name across the street, and she got a husband. Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you start talking shit because you don't like how, because your tomatoes grow better than her tomatoes, and you start talking about her tomatoes. Now everybody fighting. Yep.
Room through this window, and the amount of times I climbed out this window, I won't say, but don't tell my father. Yeah, look at this. Oh yeah, it's just completely torn apart.
And by the way, Sam has an awesome YouTube channel called Growing Up in Polygamy, which is how I found him. Actually, I found him through Peter Santinello's video, another YouTuber who makes great stories. Yeah. So we're all kind of YouTubers here. Man, look at dude. Even I feel crazy being here, and I've never been here before.
Yeah. See this door right here? Mm-hmm. So there was a moment in my young teenage years where, see how it's locked? Mm-hmm. There was a moment when it was locked just like that, and my brothers dared me. They said there's no way you could break through that door. And I got to run from about here. Should I demonstrate?
Yeah, I was going to say, please try it again, dude.
So, and I just plowed right through the door. It took down the entire frame with it. My brothers hated me because I didn't know how to fix it, so they had to. I'm just looking at these windows here, and the amount of memories and stories, it's just bizarre. I walked by this property, but I haven't walked onto the property.
Oh, you didn't
like
walk
this.
On here?
In the FLDS, the father of the home was the ruler of the home. It wasn't like, oh, hey, Dad, what's up? At least in a lot of the families.
So you called your dad father?
Yes, we were not allowed to say dad. That was...
Damn. That's why them poly family, like the dad just don't really have full relationship with their kids. They just like, nigga, you either gonna work, get right, and if you leave, you can't come back. I love you, but I'm letting you know now, if you wanna come back, you gotta pay a fee. Cause you gotta realize this motherfucker got 7, 8 other wives, 10, 20 wives, 10 kids with each one of them wives. Man, that nigga don't got no relationship with you. You just one of his sons. And that's crazy. Cause I feel like I could have 20 kids and on my mama, I'm gonna love all 20 of my kids a certain way. Now you can't love them all the same. I don't believe that's a possible thing to do. You can have, you know, obviously love, duh, but you can't treat all your kids the same. 30 of them motherfuckers, woo, somebody gonna get treated the same around this motherfucker. God damn.
It's considered disrespectful. Same with the mothers. It was mother, not mom. And
that's very culty.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's like weird that you weren't allowed to even call them mom or any other word.
Right.
Well,
right.
You had 4 moms.
I did. So, well, we were all very clear on who belonged to who. So I knew who my mom was. And
what did you call your other mom?
We would call them mother and then their first name. It was Mother Eliza.
It's crazy because like it starts off, all this started with one man. That's him right there. Boom. He had poly with bam, 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 bam. Boom, they had kids. Now all these men gonna be in the same town, and they gonna have poly. Well, not now, but like they would have all these little boys. Boom, 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 boom. Was gonna have their own. So the town would have got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and you can't tell me that he didn't grow up liking her, or he didn't like her. She had a little thing for him, or you know, like. It ain't no way him wasn't attracted to her over here. It ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, whew. And then think about how many of these motherfuckers are schizophrenic naturally. Some of them autistic naturally, and they all got to go under one rule. And if you do something wrong, you getting treated like the other ones. Man, some of these motherfuckers got ADHD. Shut the hell down. You're going to hell. Fuck. Special. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot behind this shit. I just don't think people should do this.
Mother Mildred, Mother Jeannie, and then my mother, Mother Yvonne. And I would call my mom Mother. I wouldn't use her first name. I would just say Mother.
And your 4 moms lived in the house with you?
Yes, they all lived here. They all had their separate room. Father had his separate room. Father never slept in the mother's rooms with them. I never saw that. And I know that things like that were very secretive in the FLDS. Right. We weren't given any type of education on sexual stuff at all. That just wasn't a topic. But I know that sometimes the mothers might go to his room, but the mothers...
Hold on, now he said they wouldn't have no sexual stuff, none of that was a thing. They couldn't really watch TV. It makes me think, were they even thinking about that? Because like as a kid, I was thinking about sex. I'm not even gonna lie. But that's because I was exposed to a lot of shit at a young age, bro. I've been seeing sex since I was like fucking 4. Oh, I've been, you know, it's some nasty shit didn't happen in my life, man. That's all I'm gonna say, at a young age. So I've been exposed to sex a lot. So about time a nigga was like 9, I was trying to feel some titties, you know. Now I wasn't actually, you know, getting it in. I wasn't getting it in until I was like 16. I was scared, but I knew what it was, and I was intrigued by it, and I knew this motherfucker could get hard, and I knew I like booty meat, and I like, you know, but it'll make you real mannish. But if we naturally like that, because we watch music videos, we got TV. We didn't have social media, but like, you got news. You might be in your uncle room and see a porn magazine. You know, there's so many ways as regular people in just regular society that we got exposed to sex early. So that's probably why we think like, man, you probably fuck with this cut, fuck with that. If you never was exposed, do you even have those like urges for real? Like I know you will when you become a teen, or like you get like middle school area, you just naturally gonna have them urges. But like, if you never heard about it and know about it, none of that, would you even like be like, yeah, I want to have like, I don't know. I've never been around nobody that's never seen something.
A lot of times, in a lot of cases, would have young kids in their room sleeping with, like the infants would be in the room with the mother.
Did you have any clue that the rest of the world doesn't live like that?
Yes, when I got older, we would actually start doing construction jobs outside, like in the surrounding cities and different places. So we would meet other people.
Okay.
Now, we thought they were the strange ones, of course, you know, and that we had it all figured out. But it was, you know, it was just an interesting switch when I left to realize, oh, where I came from was the strange.
Right.
And most of the world doesn't live like this.
Was money ever an issue with that many kids?
It was tight. We weren't allowed to walk into the kitchen and get a snack.
Oh, interesting.
So food was at a certain time. You would come get food at that time. I got in.
Yeah, nigga, 17 kids in here. Nigga, I understand dad right then. Daddy, can I have a... Look you dead in your face. You know a certain look. If your dad make a certain look, you know it'll come with a no. That'd be my look all day. Dad, can I was wondering if I could just get a... What do you want? Nigga, straight up, because you can't get it, nigga. We balling on nothing. We balling on a budget right now. No, you want a fruit snack? That's the devil. We don't eat fruit snacks. Fruit snacks is made from the devil. It got pork in it. Yeah. That'll be the time I lie. Cause fuck that, we need to say we ain't got food stamps or nothing. We got the FLDS. We don't work with the government.
A lot of trouble, because as a growing boy, you know, reaching this height, at one point I had to eat a lot. Or I thought, you know, I was always hungry.
Was it like rice and beans food?
It was a lot of that kind of thing, like beans, rice. We would do lots of stews. We'd even, a very common one
love
was
stew though.
Bread and milk.
Interesting.
Ever heard of that?
No, you dip the bread in.
Yeah, that's fucking disgusting. Bread and milk, that's crazy as hell. But them little struggle meals I actually love, like red beans and rice. I fucking love that shit with the sausages in it. That's an easy meal. But it's not easy. Like, it's easy to make, but it ain't easy to make it taste good. Like the motherfuckers that make it taste good. But yeah, that shit good than the motherfucker. I like that shit. Spaghetti and shit, stew, vegetable soup. Nigga, I love that shit.
In the milk?
No, we would actually break the bread into pieces, put honey on top of the bread, and then milk, and eat it. And yes, it was soggy in 3 seconds, but we would eat it anyway.
So the answer to my question is, you did not grow up wealthy.
No.
You didn't have a lot of money.
No, we did not.
Did you ever experience like fights and childhood trauma in this house?
Oh yeah. Well, fights between siblings and things like that.
Among mothers.
The mothers were pretty dang good at keeping their opinions to themselves. And that was kind of a part of the culture. The father was in charge, and the mothers would obey and enforce the father's rules.
Right.
And so they were pretty good at that. Now, were there jealousy issues and things?
Sure.
Yes, there were. But as far as siblings, with that many siblings, yeah, we fought.
And like you being the rebellious one, like if you did something wrong, like if you snuck out of the house, would you just get whacked, physically abused, or what would happen to you?
Now, I know that some people were punished by either spankings and things like that. And when I was younger, yes, we would get spankings and we would try to be smart and hide a book in our britches, as we would say.
Sure.
And try to hurt the hand of the person that was spanking us. But for the most part, we had a pretty good childhood. As far as abuse goes, it was more, you know, if we did something really bad, we'd be sat in a corner and left there.
Right.
As like, hey, think of like a timeout.
Sure.
Except for it
you
was a
weren't
very
like
long
smacked or
timeout.
anything.
No.
That's good.
See, timeouts didn't ever work for me. They used to put me in the corner. I used to be in that motherfucker blowing bubble. I be thinking of like, nigga, my mind, I got a real creative mind. Like my mind is like, it's like I see a memory in my mind at all times. Like I'm playing a movie in my head. If I'm talking to somebody, I'm playing a movie or whatever they talking about. It don't matter what it is. It's like something is playing like a picture, like a movie screen in my mind at all times. So nigga, I used to be in that corner as a kid, nigga, thinking all types of shit, nigga, enjoying myself like a motherfucker. I done forgot I was in trouble. I done turned around. I done did a little dance and shit. I was like, oh shit. Got back in the wall. Nigga, I got ADHD. Nigga, this shit ain't no motherfucking punishment. You should have hit me. Nah, for real, you should have spanked me. That would have worked. I didn't like getting hit. Fuck that. That shit hurt. But this wall shit, nigga, we was in the hood. That, nigga, put me in the wall, ain't gonna do shit. They go do a goddamn thing.
No. There was a lot of abuse in the FLDS, but thankfully, in my own experience, in my family, it was not.
Good.
As we walk through the quiet streets of Sam's old neighborhood, the past weighs
middle
heavily.
Of the wall, trying to lick the wall and shit. Some nasty ass kid shit. Like, why the nigga do that? They're doing stupid
on
shit.
Our minds. The old buildings are reminders of a life once controlled by the strict rules of the FLDS. From Sam's childhood home to the remnants of Rulan Jeffs' compound, each location holds a piece of what was once a thriving Colorado city. But there are more spots around town that Sam wants to show me so I can better understand what it was like to grow up in this cut-off society.
So what is this place?
So this place used to be the thrift store of the town. So a lot of people would come in here and find very...
Imagine, well, no. I was finna say, nigga, if you did own a business, you probably made hella bank because everybody came to you. But then I'm like, I know, because he made them sign the lease over into to him. So he owned oh, man.
Very inexpensive clothes.
Damn.
Turn, pull. Push, turn, pull. It works. So you grew up in the FLDS. You know my family very well.
I knew Neil, Neil.
Yeah.
I love Neil.
That's crazy. That
so many fun memories.
Crazy. You've never met before?
I don't think we've met.
No.
Crazy how like you know everything about his family and he knows everything about you.
Yeah.
No,
well,
go on.
I was probably, you may have seen me around the community when I was a little kid, but.
Probably.
They probably don't know nothing about drugs, nigga. I would have took them jiggers down there and fucked the city up on their ass. What? I'd have been like 20 down there fucking them up, nigga. Oh, my mama and I would have hid off in the mountains. They would have known where, nigga. They would have been like, I need more. Yeah, y'all want to make some more kids? Fuck him up. Yeah, I'm taxing their ass $40 a pill. Grannies. Then I would have came out with them yerks on their ass, and they wouldn't even know what to do after that. They in the house. They done made breakfast. They done found out how to get more food and shit. Niggas ain't slept in 6 days. They all having fun. Oh, grannies. And they with Jesus, too. So they like, fuck it, it's medicine. No. It's far from medicine.
Back when I was a kid, it was a great community. We had the village
Would have brought
to raise
that
the
good
child,
weed out there.
you know,
Yeah.
and people were just congenial. I mean, we worked really well together.
Yeah.
And religious stuff started to get in the way, and it started separating people and feelings. And
Did you know Rulan Jeffs?
The reason why I said 1920, because nigga, I wouldn't have did it at no 25. I wouldn't have went out there. Nigga, hell no. 1920, you'd been like, fuck it, nigga, let's go. Fuck it, who cares? Nigga, I would have took my glasses off. I had them glow trim glasses. I would have took the picture off. Nigga, put them contacts in. Nigga, let's go.
I've never met him officially, but I do know of him.
And you were connected to him
I
through.
mean, if I saw him, I'd probably know who he was.
Is it not strange to grow up with molesters and
Very
like
much so.
like?
Not right to me.
Okay.
Well, I'm sure you saw the polygamy side of thing, and all of that was normal for you as well, I assume.
I loved it.
Why though?
Loved it. Because other mothers can relate to you differently than your own mom. It's just that
You had another.
this other mom could relate to me, and she had different talents than my mom, and so.
Did you feel that way too?
Yeah, there were definitely different talents that each mother brought to the table. Or
Do you still love the idea of having multiple mothers?
Totally.
This is so bizarre to meet a woman from the FLDS church who runs this shop.
You see, that nigga had to go behind the damn school. It's just so crazy. They all believe this shit and run this shop. I'm just saying, this shit's wild. On my mama, he real. He had to go behind that counter. He was like, shit, I can't let her hear this. She fuck around. Lock me the fuck up.
And hearing her talk about growing up here, I can't believe that I'm getting this on camera right now. It's bizarre.
The idea of having more than one wife is an absolute no for me. So I wonder if that's the same for you. Like, being a sister wife, for you personally, is that something that you would still be interested in?
Major.
Really? Interesting, okay.
Totally.
Do you think others feel the same?
That motherfucker's crazy. And she will get you locked the fuck up. You don't want to give me no more pills? Say goodbye to your kids. And get you locked the fuck up and say, yeah, man, she'll show up with blood and shit. Police gonna believe her because they her fucking brothers and cousins. You going to jail for life. Oh, my mama. You can see it in her face. She's crazy. Totally, I love it. What, you don't love it? You get the fuck out of my store. Like, she'll switch on you on some crazy shit on my mama. She come off as a good person, welcoming, but she'll switch this shit all around. Soon as she disagree with you or find out she don't like you, yeah, all this shit gonna turn around, bubba. Yeah, baby.
Same way?
But you know what? It's gonna have to be on very strict terms.
Right.
And that is, it's not gonna be something where somebody, like the placement marriage things that they force people into and they guilt people into and shame them into, and I mean, we could go on with a few more adjectives on that.
So you want to choose your husband?
Absolutely, I think every woman should.
Yeah,
I don't
hell yeah.
buy with the placement stuff, but I got married by getting on my knees, and I knew, and I didn't go into the brethren and say, tell me who to marry. But I absolutely want other ladies in my life.
Can I ask you a question about Warren Jeffs? So he had 80.
She like to get nasty. She's still crazy as a motherfucker. I ain't getting that out. She a motherfucking crazy. But she like to get nasty though. That's what she do. And she like help, cause she don't like to cook, but she like to do this. But she like, man, I need somebody in here to cook. Then she got another girl that like to, you know, do balconto. You know? It might work out for her.
Wives? You don't think that's too much? Like, is that not kind of crazy? Is that crazy to you? Like, where do you draw the line?
I think it's sick and wrong how Warren got his.
Yeah.
And the guilt and the shame and how he treated them, and there's a whole bunch of story around that, so I can't just give you a simple answer.
Sure.
Yeah.
You don't think it's weird for the husband, for the man, to have multiple wives, but
she got that she got that unimi gunimi don don that yada yo. She got that motherfucking shit. Tiger Stripe. She got that yay. Drifted on your shit. God damn, she looking like, huh? Fuck, them your wives, you picked them, nigga? Ugh.
But the wife can't have multiple husbands?
No, I don't think that's weird. Look in the animal kingdom. That's how a lot of the animal kingdom is.
True.
I'm not saying in every situation of the animal kingdom.
I ain't gonna lie. Having multiple wives I don't think it's weird. It's just like, to each his own though, and how you do it. Having 20 is crazy. But if you got like 2, 3, like, and y'all all in the same house, and now y'all all cordial, y'all all understand it, it ain't no y'all all play y'all role, and as a man, you handle your shit and take care of them, and you take care of the woo bam, and the money coming in good, and boom bam, y'all gotta have money. You ain't got no money, and shit ain't gonna work. You gotta have some money. But you got some money coming in, man, that shit gonna work, man. That shit gonna be cool, and the kids gonna, and you teach the kids the right way. You teach like, y'all don't have to do this, but this is what we do. Teach them this, and then teach them this side, boom, bam, so they don't. So when the kids go to school and be like, y'all mama in the poly, and they da-da-da, and they try to get on some funny shit, your kids gonna clap back with some crazy shit, and they funny too. And they gonna hit their ass with them facts, and then ain't nobody at school gonna keep talking about it, because they like, man, they gonna fucking, yeah. It'll work. It'll work. But shit, if you believe in just having a wife and a husband, that's all it is, just one and one. It'll work too.
But the animal kingdom has one male and a herd of women, and they go and butt their heads and their antlers and do whatever, and I'm gonna dominate, you know, and that's gonna be the seed that's passed on to ensure that they have a strong genetic makeup.
And we are animals at the end of the day.
Another thing too is, it's hard to say, oh, I wish I didn't grow up in polygamy, because that would take away a lot of my siblings that I have. That would take away the relationships I had with my mothers in the home. So, you know, it's tricky, because I would never want to have multiple wives myself. But if I did, then I would also have children saying, I can't imagine life without it, right?
Yeah.
So it's a hard thing to navigate, right? To say whether or not it's good or bad or all that. I think it's just up to people's personal beliefs and what they think is best for themselves.
Well, I absolutely 100% agree with people should choose and have the life they want.
Same.
Right.
So
You would allow your husband to have another wife?
Absolutely.
So how would it happen if the time ever happened? What would need to happen for another woman to come in?
Lots of prayers and then somebody knowing where they're going. And
Take care.
I still love Marilee.
Whoa, we gotta talk.
A lot to talk about, right? I guess it just goes to show once again, when you're raised in something and that's all you know and you believe it is the best life because that's what you have experienced, then that's what you want. In her case, it seems
mind-blowing, dude. That was super interesting. Wow.
Yeah. So different buildings throughout the town were used for homeschooling.
That was your homeschool?
That was one of the ones I attended, yes.
You seem to be really educated now and you know everything, and obviously you've learned a lot since you left the community, but like growing up in a school where you're being taught by your sister, you must have not.
That nigga eat raisins. You can tell he eat a whole handful of raisins. Like he take the whole box and he squeeze on the edges and he just dump that motherfucker in there. He eat them whole. My mama, he like cashews and shit. On some shit.
Not learned that much.
I didn't get much of an education, no. Not when I was out here. By the time I was a young teenager, I was out on job sites working full time. But since I left, I did go and get my GED, and I went to college.
And got
a
GED.
So this is Rulan Jeffs' home, or was his home, and Warren Jeffs had an office in here as well. So Rulan Jeffs was the prophet before Warren Jeffs. And one of my sisters married Rulan Jeffs when she was about 18 or 19 years old. And my sister married him when Rulan Jeffs was about 80 years old. And I believe she was his 60th wife.
Your sister was 18?
One of my sisters, and she was my full-blooded sister as well.
What did you think about that when she married him?
Well, interestingly, I thought it was this huge honor for her, and that, I believe, is how she felt too, that she was marrying the prophet of God. Looking back now, maybe there were some concerns that she had about.
Definitely not the prophet of God. You just married this old white man. If we're gonna get down to the gritty, you got nothing out of that. Nothing. And hopefully you don't have to do the doodly do. Because if you had the diddly and doodly doo, sorry.
About it, but I'm just not sure. I never asked her. I just assumed she was honored to marry the prophet of God. Exact white door right there I had walked through to meet Rulan Jeffs and Warren Jeffs. It is just weird to see that door now and to think of all the things that were going on in there.
Your sister that married Rulan Jeff, is she...
Yeah, he don't like that shit. He ain't look like that all fucking... The whole video
going
he
on
made
in
this
there.
face.
Your sister...
You see... He wasn't playing about his sister. That's his full fucking sis, too.
That married...
He ain't made that fucking face all video. It's been all funny. Yeah, don't step in there. You might touch your booty. He was doing all the fucking funny jokes earlier. But you talking about his sister marrying this old ass white man and he know the truth. He out here, my mama. This is the worst shit ever to happen to me in my motherfucking life, man. Look me dead in my eye, nigga. This the worst shit that ever happened to me. I swear to God, I'm gonna murk his ass when I see him. Let him walk out the door right now. You better duck. Nigga, you better close your motherfucking ears. I'm shooting through the windows, nigga. Oh, my mama, that nigga ain't playing. That nigga, bro, this nigga pissed off, bro. But he gonna shake back, watch. Cause he a good guy.
Have you spoken to her? Is she still in the community?
I have not seen. I'm not in contact with her right now.
Do you think she still believes in Warren Jeffs?
I think she does, yes. I know now, during that same time, Warren Jeffs was doing awful things, molesting his own children in some cases, at least as the courts and documents would state. And
during the time you met him?
During that time.
That's crazy, bro.
So it's crazy that in my mind, I thought I was having this spiritual, holy experience with him.
And he was ready to size you up, see if he was going to play with that bayani. Damn. Motherfucking evil, bro. I'm telling you, these niggas really be for the devil, man.
And behind closed doors, awful things were going on.
We just rolled up to another place.
You know it happened to your sister.
Patty's
That's why
place.
he's
It's
mad. He ready to
building,
murk something.
rumored to be owned by FLDS, which we're about to find out.
Maddie's here.
Smells really good in here.
Good.
But are you from here as well?
I'm not from here,
Okay.
but I've been here for 40 years.
Oh, you're basically from here.
Oh, I bet you from there. Fuck is you talking about? I'm not from here, but I'm 37 and I've been here since I was 9. Bitch, you was from there. I don't give a damn what you say.
You never left during all the height of everything?
Yeah. So we didn't sign the tenant at will because we didn't agree with it.
Oh, really?
A lot of people went up to court over it.
Interesting.
Our family wasn't one, but they took us to court and then they took our home.
They just took you home?
Yeah.
Like, you woke up one day and...
Well, they took us to court and the court says you have no standing because
They're
you built on UEP land.
Did you ever meet Warren Jeffs?
I couldn't even stand listening to you. He has this way of talking.
Really?
Keeping sweet is an exertion to remain clean and pure. And if you're not keeping sweet, then you're not pure.
Our conversation with the woman at the shop leaves us in shock. Her story peels back the layers of the church's grip on its followers, highlighting the devastating impact of Warren Jeffs' rule. Reflecting on this journey, it's clear that the FLDS operated not just as a religious community, but as a cult, a system designed to control and manipulate its followers for the benefit of its leader. The scars of this toxic environment run deep, etching themselves into both the physical surroundings of this town and the psyche of those who once called it home. But despite this trauma, we encountered a few people who give us hope for the future of Colorado City. We're about to meet up with Warren Jeffs' 65th wife for a rare interview, as she reminds us that in the face of so much...
She look like the troll, what they call Gorman, the Google, when the trolls... I'm beautiful. When she had the rainbow hair of trolls. Yeah, don't she look like her? Oh, my mama, y'all know what I'm talking about. The Trolls movie with the kids that the kids watch. They love that shit. Because a little sparkly troll, he farted and sparkles fly out his booty.
Destruction, there is room for redemption.
Well, this here is Warren Jeffs' old home. And I met Warren Jeffs himself in his backyard here. I helped my brother do the landscaping and things like that.
That's so bizarre, dude.
And so, yeah, I met many of his wives. I met his brothers. I met him, Warren Jeffs himself out here. He was playing tennis one day in his backyard. And so, yeah, we would see him around.
It's definitely a mansion.
It's definitely bizarre. Every time I come back, just the feelings of being on the property that Warren Jeffs himself lived at. It's just so crazy.
Yeah, this is wild, man.
Hey, there she is.
Hi. How are you?
Drew, Brielle, how are you?
Pleasure to meet you.
Good to see you too.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
I've heard so much about you.
Thanks.
Thanks for having us here.
Yeah.
Once a symbol of oppression, the 44-room mansion that was occupied by Warren Jeffs and his multiple wives has undergone a remarkable transformation. The Dream Center, as it is now called, is a sanctuary for people fleeing the church. Led by Brielle Decker, Warren Jeffs' 65th wife, the center offers transitional housing and education, combats addiction, and aids victims of human trafficking. To me, it is crazy to think that the home that once trapped Brielle now helps others get out.
How long did you live here with Warren Jeffs?
4 months.
Okay, so 4 months with Warren. And
Well, he wasn't really here, but his family was.
okay, at that time he was kind of on the run.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I married him after he was the prophet, so he was already on the run.
Did he go on the run almost immediately after he became prophet, or was it a little bit later?
It was almost immediately.
Okay, that's what I thought. So like 2002, 2003.
Yeah, it was September, and then my birthday was in November, and I married him in January.
Okay.
Damn, she was a young motherfucker, dummy. I'm doing this for God. God, like, no. Fuck, she did it. But I'm still with you, though. And look, now like she got the whole house, murder victims and everything in there.
So I turned 18.
I was just about to say, how old were you when you married him?
Yeah, I turned 18. So the fathers had a lot more say, kind of before that.
Mm-hmm.
When Rulan was the prophet, they could tell the prophet when their daughter was old enough or when they felt like they were ready. But when Warren became the prophet, he called up the fathers and said, your daughter is ready.
12.
So it put him in a really tight position, because if they didn't go along with it, they could lose all their children all at the same time. This is the men's floor. The men stay down here.
Like, are you talking about
they was getting forced.
Yeah, and before the boys. This, I don't know if I showed you this when you were here.
No.
This is like all this wiring. And when the first directors came, they hired some people to come in and try to organize this. And they walked out and they were like, what is going on in there? And they're like, we just barely bought this place. And they're like, there was illegal wires tapped the whole city.
So the whole city was being spied on, huh?
Yeah.
Who orchestrated that?
Damn.
That was Warren Jeffs and his whatever he did.
He put illegal wiring to spy on it.
That shit probably everywhere down here. Ooh, fuck. I'm finna check all this shit. That shit crazy, bro. I know for a fact that's in America. That shit everywhere. Them all in the hood and shit. That's illegal wine. They looking at everything. Look at that motherfucker smoking that damn crack again. Look, they finna fight. Look at these motherfuckers think they will see them selling that Louis dope. We ain't trying to get y'all for that. We trying to get the big dogs. That nigga that's always in that Rolls Royce that we can't see shit. Damn. They ain't worried about you selling them little apes. Stop acting like the law's on your ass, nigga. Stop hiding, nigga. You sell that shit wide open. Don't give a fuck about that shit, boy.
Ready?
In the town, yeah, so you could tap their phone lines.
Did you know that?
So I had heard rumors. I didn't know about the phone lines.
So he could listen to anyone's conversation.
Yeah. And one time they went through a tour,
anyone?
and there was a lady from the community in the tour, and they kind of explained that, and she just went, oh my goodness, that's how he knew. And she was like talking about how he called her out in church one time and told her she was talking to a boy on the phone. And he told her it was God who told him.
Of course.
And so she believed this whole time that she was denying God and running from God and all this stuff, and then she finds out later that he was just tapping the phones.
But it just goes to show that that's how he was able to convince so many people that he was hearing from God. And he was being directed by God.
He was listening to them.
He was listening in and spying on us.
I feel like it's so manipulative. And he also like
that
how he
shit's crazy. He'd just go in there. Okay, I'm gonna listen to, let me go to Jimmy's house. Man, my leg is killing me, man. I need something. This nigga go to church. God is going to heal your leg, Jimmy. Here, take this bill. God told me to get that to you. Now I'm gonna put you on prescriptions and I'm gonna charge you $59. And you like, God damn. Gave that nigga ibuprofen.
would watch the news and tell everybody else not to. He had so many tactics.
So how does that make you feel though?
Me, yeah. I feel like it's really sad to think about like how many people were like basically deceived, because he was lying to them, you know.
Yeah.
But when you were married to him, you didn't know he was lying at all. You thought he was.
Well, I learned in about the first 2 years, it didn't line up, because he acts different than he teaches. You couldn't talk about it. So like the day I married him, I started seeing red flags.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like what? Do you mind me asking?
Well, he sent me home on the first night because I hesitated to get close to him, and I was like, well, it's my first wedding and his 65th or whatever, so he was just really angry at me, and I didn't know why. Later, I figured out he was punishing me by sending me home. And then the next day, he sent me to a few meetings, and one of them was a secret meeting that he talked about when he took his children from this property, because this is where they lived before he became the leader. He said that he was taking them away from this property because he was running from the law. He didn't want to be questioned by the law about where he was. So I started seeing red flags right off, but it took me a time to give up the God that I'd been taught about my whole life. And so I went to Alta Academy. My first grade teacher was his first wife. Yeah. So I don't have like the same type of story as the people down here. Most people down here talk about how when Warren Jeffs became the leader, there was a big shift. Mm-hmm. For me, there wasn't really a big shift.
That's some evil shit, bro, if you really think about it.
He was going to be the next prophet, basically. I became a target really fast in his family, and he put me on a pedestal and said, don't be like her. And so that it was really bad.
So you were the unique one.
Yeah, because I didn't want to follow along with all of his stuff that he was doing. And they didn't know why. The rest of the family just figured I must have done something bad.
Interesting.
And Warren Jeffs doesn't have to have a reason.
Were other people targeted besides you, or just you?
I don't know, because I was in survival mode. Like I was fighting for my life every single hour sometimes.
Like you thought you were actually going to die?
They threatened me at times.
Sounds like you got treated a lot worse than his other wives.
I think I was his most hated wife. And I like it now.
Yeah, I was just about to say, definitely a secret closet, yeah. What's happening in here?
This is under the front porch.
What does that mean?
So like, it was a secret room, and these things, there's a latch under it, you can't see the latch.
What do you think was kept back here?
I think of records.
Oh, the records of the church and
the
stuff?
marriages and all of that stuff. And there was when we...
Dang, imagine how many people got them rooms in their house and they'll lock you in that bitch and you can't even scream to get out. Get you a gun, man. And like, start working out or some shit. Learn how to fight. Some, bitch ass nigga. Bam, bitch ass nigga. Just something. Cause, whew, I would hate that.
When we first got here, I don't know if it's still there, but there was a tape down there that said masks on it.
Yeah. So you asked what things were found, and they were the documents and recordings and all the things that Warren Jeffs had his scribes and had people record of the abuses
ugly hell
to underage women or girls.
Did you know the 12-year-old?
What the fuck?
I did know her. I met her before, but I don't.
12.
I wasn't in the room when all that stuff happened, but I did go into the introduction and figured out what was going on, and that's when I fought him after that. Yeah. So I think I was the only wife that successfully avoided him after that, because I did see women crying. I did see mothers in really tight positions, like you think about the littler kids on the property that they already gave birth to, and he's bringing them now because they're worthy now to come see their kids after this long space of time, and they're put into this really traumatic situation, and they have to choose if they're going to follow along with abusing these 12-year-olds and leave their kids in a vulnerable situation, or, you know what I mean? Yeah. If they leave the property, so if they fight Warren Jeffs, they leave the property and their littler kids are more vulnerable.
All right, this was his room?
Yeah, this was his room. It's super small.
There was extra padding, extra soundproof.
Yeah, right here in the bar.
On the bottom of the door here.
This is the only intercom with an on and off switch in the house.
So he had power over the intercom.
Everybody else couldn't talk in it, where he was the only one that had the power to talk.
Have you guys searched like all the little parts of the wall? He's probably in his prison cell, like with an earpiece in.
Yeah.
How many of Warren Jeffs' 80 wives did you know personally, or did you meet?
I knew all of them.
Yeah,
like were you ever together in one room?
Everybody.
I don't think so, because he had them spread out. But
was there drama amongst the ladies?
I'm sure there was. But like I said, I was in survival mode most of the time.
She was trying to survive.
A lot of them I don't think they're.
Do you think
some of them are nice?
Were they like friendly with each other, or they're kind of like, I don't want to be your friend. Like we compete. Like
it depends on who it is. You kind of get to know their characters and what things stay and what things kind of fade over time.
Right.
You kind of learn patterns really good, because we moved a lot, but we didn't move like people out here to a new location with new neighbors and new environment and new resources. Right. We always had the same people.
And when you're with them in person, are things feeling normal?
For me, it was different than most of them. Like for me, I actually would hide from him. I would go in the closets and close the door and read.
My mama hide like a motherfucker, cause he finna come in here and do some nasty shit. That nigga like kids and grown women, so he just nasty all day. Hide your ass off.
You must have been the only one doing that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But he was always. I wasn't really attracted to him, so like when I would walk in the room, it would like freeze. Both of us would just like freeze, and it kind of created a tension like immediately. He was so mad about that, because I was his wife, so like that's not supposed to happen.
Why did you feel forced to marry him? Because it sounds like from the get-go you weren't interested in him and you didn't care about him. So why did you marry him?
Well, I married him because it's arranged marriage, and when I went in to talk to him, I had like premonitions as a child. Like I believe there were premonitions. Like I would dream that I was in a darkly lit room, like dimmed the lights, and Warren Jeffs was in the front. And it was weird because the prophet was Rulan, and he would ask me, who do you think God wants you to marry? And I would wake up every time at that point. And when I got closer to being 18 years old, I worried that he wouldn't just tell me. Some people he just tells. And so he'd put it on me. And what happened when it was a darkly lit room, he was the one sitting there.
having dreams and shit together. It was nightmares. Fuck that. Who do you think God wants you to marry? Not you. At the same time, look at all the people that she helped out. That's because she did marry. She got that whole house is now a whole building for the survivors or something.
Because he had just become the prophet, and he said, "Who does God want you to marry?" And it just like, whoa. I turned away and I said, I wondered if I was supposed to go in the family with my sister. But when it actually happened, I just said, I wondered if I was supposed to go in that family. He said I had a strong testimony. He had the ultimate say in every marriage. But it was kind of like a catch-22 because like, he also had the doctrine of like, if you ask to marry him, it's like a really bad thing.
Right.
But if you lie to God, then, but he's the one that groomed me, so because I didn't want to lie to him because that's also a punishment. He didn't even ask me if I wanted to.
He just took you to the wedding ceremony?
Yeah, he's like, he called in his brother. He said, let's get my brother, and he called him in, and because my father was there. My mother never got invited to the wedding.
So that happened the same time that question he asked you, then you went straight to the ceremony?
Yeah, he didn't ask me if I wanted to. He just said, who do you think God wants you to marry? And he's like, oh, you have a strong testimony.
And you just like went with it?
Well, I didn't want to, like...
you can't just...
Yeah, you can't. Well, I could have said no at the ceremony, but like, I knew the punishment would be outweighed. Like, if I deny the prophet, the punishment could be...
That motherfucker look evil as hell. Screenshot like a hoe.
Yeah, I'd never get married. I'd just stay in my father's home, which wasn't
when
really
you got married, were you emotional? Like at most people's weddings, they like...
I was in shock. Yeah.
And then you got married and then you walked out of the room and you were like,
no,
oh my God.
Sent my father, he sent all the people out. And then he turned to me and he said, come sit on my lap. And I just hesitated, and that's when I saw the anger in his face.
Was the hesitation that you were talking about before?
Yeah.
It is just bizarre to me to think that
crazy,
his way of getting so many people to marry him, so many young girls or young women to marry him, was simply by forcing them to think that it was coming from God.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then him just forcing it upon them without any question or hesitation.
And if he like kids, think about how many times he just sit there on the cameras and watch y'all kids all around town like, yeah, I'm gonna get her. Been listening to the conversations and everything, what she talk about them, during what she thinking.
So it doesn't sound like it was much of a choice for any of these 81. Well,
yeah, I don't
maybe
think
the first couple, I don't know about
maybe.
those.
I don't think so.
And a lot of these 80 wives are still idolizing him today.
I don't know if they are. I kind of wonder if they really do, but they are claiming they do.
What do you think?
I've talked to a recent inside source.
Yeah.
I can't say names here, unfortunately. Yeah. But that there are still a large amount of wives that are still waiting for him to break free from prison and come be their husband and prophet again.
Yeah.
And that they are still hoping and holding on to that.
Well, they can't tell everyone until, like, unless they make a change.
Right.
But, like, the real thing is like, I think he scared them pretty bad with what he was doing.
Sure.
And he told them things like, you're an accomplice, the world doesn't want you, stuff like that. So, like, they really believe, they don't know anything else. They think if they come out here, they're going to go to prison.
Right.
We are told that we're going to be on Satan's ground, which means that you're going to become an apostate.
Right.
You're going to become this awful person that the world is going to basically eat you up.
Yeah.
And so I can understand why I'd be so fearful. Was that the same for you, or were you so past his teachings that you just wanted to get free at that point?
Well, for me, I felt like I knew that I hadn't been a full accomplice. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't worried about more papers being dug up and everything on me.
I see.
What I try to tell him is like, if you got an attorney outside of the church and fought your case, a lot of them would win. Like a lot of them were coerced into it, and forced fraud of coercion is a factor in the trafficking laws, which what they go by now. So
what they win, money. I'd have been out there. He did it with my sister too. He tried to get her. She's 5. He was freaky. We trying to get that money. Now I need you to tell a little lie real quick. We trying to get that money.
I have personally testified against Warren in federal court.
Yeah, that motherfucker
like 2
tall
years
ago,
as hell. Just for credibility
nasty
reasons.
Motherfucker.
Mostly, we were awarded an amount, but we don't plan on seeing it because it's all hidden in his members' names and everything. But for credibility reasons, it does help me because I'm the only 18-year-old that has testified against Warren.
Really?
Yeah, of his wives. And there was one other person in the class action that was an underage bride.
It must be hard to have proof in form of like photos and videos because that was like shunned.
Yeah, for me, I didn't have anything when I escaped. I escaped out a window and was terrified of being caught.
Where did you go when you left the window?
I ran to a family that I knew had left the church altogether.
Got it.
So I went to this specific house. Right before I got there, there was a lady in her backyard meditating who was dressed ex-FLDS. I ran through her backyard, and she's like, "Can I help you?"
Oh my God.
And I was like,
yeah, I need help.
So she drove me up to the house I was going to, and she asked if she could come in or not, and I said, "You might as well come in." So she came in. The family I was with,
and thing is, he probably heard all that shit too.
They didn't know any phone numbers of any small organizations on the outside. They had just recently left.
Wow.
So, but the lady who came in with me did. So she ended up calling some organizations, and
so you got help.
So I got help that day. So yeah.
So do you think that because of the rumors Warren Jeffs was spreading about you, that all FLDS people to this day believe that you're just some crazy person spreading lies?
Yeah, he doesn't really target me the same way as he targets most ex-FLDS, because he said so much in the beginning that I was crazy and that they needed to hunt me. They chased me, they put me on the missing list, they did so much stuff in the beginning. Most people, when they start to fight the church, they get like blacklisted in the church. They say, don't listen to their master deceiver. But for me, they haven't done that. They just keep saying she's crazy. But even though I was awarded the house and this is now a recovery place, they kind of attack the house situation, say it was stolen from them, and they kind of even blame so the activist that took me in later on, her name is Kristen Decker, she legally adopted me. And so I would never have the risk hanging over my head of being like brought back to the FLDS if I ended up in the hospital or something too long, and it defaults to a family member to make a decision. Now it will default to my husband or my adopted family.
You're married now?
Yeah, I'm married. I've been married like 7.5 years.
I should have good when I got married on the nigga.
And you're totally a non-believer in everything that you grew up believing.
Right, but I do believe in like Bible more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you married Warren Jeffs, did you change your last name to Jeffs?
Not legally.
Not legally, but people would call you Jeffs, but it wasn't. So the ID you talked about that you forgot to take with you had your maiden name on it?
Yeah, Warner.
Okay.
So my name, I did change my social, was legally adopted, and changed my name. So if you look up Warren Jeffs' wives, I was Lynette Warner. Now I'm Rael Decker Blanchard.
Do the other mothers that are married, like the second, third, fourth mother or beyond, do they change their last name legally?
They can't legally.
Okay.
So in the church they're called Jeffs, but outside of the church they're called their maiden names.
So, and that goes for the other wives and other husbands throughout the community?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure about that.
The first wife is the only one that changes it. So the only one that could be legal.
How does your husband now feel about all this, that you were married to Warren Jeffs?
Oh, he's really quiet about like most things, but
it's good.
He's really good to me.
I'm so happy for you that you were able to put that.
Is he? Or is he good at what you know is good? Because he could be like, oh yeah, you can go to McDonald's. And the whole time, like, this nigga fucking crazy motherfucker.
That life behind you, or at least most of the
Why'd you go to McDonald's?
Moving on to a happier version of yourself.
Yeah, and we have a house, our own house in town.
Nice. Are you worried that you're gonna get a knock on your door someday and like someone like any of that? Do you think about that stuff?
I do. It's impossible not to think about it, I think, but it's not like I live in fear. You know, I just do the best I can, and you know, whatever happens, happens. Because there's always going to be angry people. There's always going to be people who don't see it your way.
But the fact that you're public and willing to speak about this on camera means that you're putting yourself out there, but they don't consume social media and they probably won't even see these videos.
But the ex-FLDS do.
And
there are some ex-FLDS who disagree with some of the ideas that I have, which is fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and there's also some active LDS, or FLD, sorry, yes, active.
She had that head on her.
Yeah.
Well, and there's also some active.
Damn! Like, usually hairline be right here. She still got some more head. That's an 8 head. God da down. Whoa! Yep. That's definitely the mama.
Active LDS, or FLD, sorry, yes, active FLDS people that still follow Warren Jeffs that do scour the internet to look for these people that are talking about
I
stuff.
feel like if you do the best you can, that's all anybody can do.
Totally agree. I'm with you there. People ask me that too. Are you afraid for your family and your life? And I say, what's the point of living in fear?
Yeah.
We're sharing messages that need to be shared. We're trying to help people where we can. And I think you're doing the same, and you've done a great job at it.
Thanks. So have you.
As I leave Colorado City, the echo.
He and that motherfucker hot Deezy been busy wheezy.
I think you're doing the same, and you've done a great job at it.
Thanks. So have you.
As I leave.
That motherfucker, whoop-oo. Yeah, that motherfucker look nice on the inside. It don't matter what it is. It's Hondeezy man busy wheezy.
Colorado City, the echoes of its past still linger. But this isn't just a story of a cult's downfall. It's an account of a place once dominated by fear and control, now fighting for a future filled with hope. The survivors I met inspire me to keep making videos about marginalized people. The path to healing is long, but it's lit by those who refuse to be silenced. From the Hasidic Jews of New York to the Mennonites of Wisconsin, America has so many interesting religions. But visiting the remnants of Warren Jeffs' empire is truly shocking, and I wonder what the future holds for the FLDS. What do you think about this story? Let me.
This is the worst one. The FLDS. This is the worst one, my boy.
Let me know in the comments down below, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next week.
Very, very horrible, man. Very, very horrible, man. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this video, y'all. Need y'all to like, comment, subscribe. Turn your post notifications on. Comment if you even got this far, because that's crazy. It's an hour and 30 minutes. Hey, all the way to the end. I'll fuck with y'all. It's the end of this video. I'm out. Y'all have a good night and a good day. Peace.